Okay, time for Frost. These Weakauras are very similar, have a very similar layout to the Fire ones with a few slight differences. All of the icons that are talents are interchangeable as with the Fire, which means that when you select a new talent, it'll remove the unused skill and replace it with the talent you've selected. If the talent's passive, it'll be dimmer. The icon will be dimmer, so you can see that here with Bone Chilling, Unstable Magic, and Splitting Ice. Um, Starting from left to right in the main area, we've got Icy Veins, which is your major cooldown. Frozen Orb, that's core ability, so that never changes. This next one here is Ray of Frost, Lonely Winter, and Bone Chilling. This will change depending on what you've got. See, Ray of Frost, Lonely Winter, Bone Chilling. The next one here is Frost Bomb, Unstable Magic, and Arctic Gale. You can see that changing. Next one after that is Thermal Void, Glacial Spike, and Comet Storm. I'll just switch that back to Glacial Spike because I need to show you that. The last one is Ice Nova, Frozen Touch, and Splitting Ice. Now the big one on the end is just like the other Weakauras, your Mirror Image, your Rune of Power, and your Incanter's Flow. Most of these are static icons that represent cooldowns of abilities or passive talents, but some of them behave a little bit differently, which I'll show you now. Bone Chilling is a debuff on the target, which is tracked on the icon when it's active. If I just cast some Frost Bolts, you'll see here that you can see the stacks of the Bone Chilling and how long the debuff on the target's got left. Once you reach 5, if you've got Glacial Spike spec'd, that changes the way that your icicles behave. So when you get to 5 icicles, your Glacial Spike ability comes available. You can see here that there's 5 stacks of your icicles on the icon and it's lit up ready to be cast. You can also see just above here, this is the number of icicles you currently have, just a bit more of a visual tracker to make it a bit easier to see when you're in combat and stuff. So if I cast Glacial Spike, that'll all disappear and then it'll start showing you all the icons again once you're building up the charges. Incanter's Flow goes up and down depending on your stacks, so red's bad, yellow's good, as you can see there. Now the 3 bars along the top here, just like the other Weakauras, are your Ice Floes Charges. When I use Ice Flows, you'll see that I get a little graphic there and one of the charges disappears. Tells you how long it's got left till the next charge appears again. If you use them all, you get a red cooldown bar that tells you when that's available again. Below the icons here, which I've added since the last lot of Weakauras, you probably won't see these in the last videos, but this is a Shimmer Tracker. So if I go back over here and I cast a Shimmer, you'll see that one of these disappears and you get a cooldown showing you when your next charge is available. When you've not got Shimmer spec'd, it tracks your blink instead. So if I switch to Cauterize, you can see there that there's just 1 bar because you've only got 1 blink. I've also just switched to Cauterize. I've included a Cauterize tracker as well, which if I can't actually do it here, but when your Cauterize hits, you get an icon above your character with the buff. When you get the speed buff, it tells you that you've almost died and you've got to get the hell out of there. Once that's over, you'll see a little red bar down the bottom just showing you the debuff, so you know that when Cauterize is available again. So coming up to these top icons, this one on the left here is your Water Elemental's Water Jet. So if I cast that, you can see what happens. It tracks the cooldown and it also tracks the cast time of it. Because I've got the 4-piece that lasts for 10 seconds. You can see that going there. Once he's finished his cast, it'll go back to just showing you the cooldown of the ability. On the right is the Legendary Ring. That'll only appear when you've got the Legendary Ring on, and I'll remove that once it becomes obsolete in Legion. The last thing that I want to talk about is the artifact weapon skill, Ebon Bolt. You can see this little graphic in the middle, which tells you that Ebon Bolt is available. When the spell's ready, you'll see that. When the spell's on cooldown, you'll see a timer bar letting you know how long until you can cast it again. For the purpose of demonstrating Ebon Bolt in this video, I'm just going to use Blizzard instead, which I've bound it to. That'll change obviously to actually being bound to Ebon Bolt, but this is just to show you how it works. I don't have the weapon yet, so I can't show you actual Ebon Bolt, but if I cast Blizzard, you'll see what happens. The icon disappears and you get a little timer. Obviously it's a 45-second cooldown, so that'll last a bit longer, and then when you're ready again, your bolt will appear, so you can cast it. You can probably see when I was casting before the buffs and procs coming up around this area of the screen. This is a separate Weakaura that just tracks all your buffs and your procs and all that sort of stuff, which I'll link in the description below. If I just hit some things happening again, you'll see there's a weapon proc, there's my trinket procking. If I hit Icy Veins, you'll see that there. Things like Ice Block, Invisibility, all that kind of junk, shows you all that stuff there, so that's pretty important as well. For any changes made, I'll be updating the Weakaura on the Wego website. The link's below in the description. I haven't had a lot of time playing Frost, so I'm not ace at it, so I don't really know whether anything's going to change in terms of the order of the buttons or whether I need to add anything else, but as I go, I'll be updating that as best as I can. And just like last time, I hope you found this useful. Cheers.